Okay, so let me just tell y'all what happened with the idler here, now that you've seen the little slideshow that I made. Unfortunately, I didn't really feel I should make a video of it with my phone while the other guys were working, so I snapped a few pictures while I could, while we were working. But it turned out to be a lot easier than I thought that it would be, and a lot easier than they thought it would be. Now, when I pulled this out of the machine, looking at the back end here, it looked to me like that cylinder could just slide right out. And it kind of made sense to me that it could, because you think about it, when it's on the machine, the only thing that holds this whole slack adjuster in place is the track goes around the outside end of your idler there, and this end is against a brace. So unlike a hydraulic cylinder, this thing can't really pump itself apart unless your track is way too long. So my thought was, hey, maybe this cylinder will just pull right out. Well, then I got to reading online and looking, and everything I found was like, no, you got to break it apart up here on the other end. You got to take your yoke apart, and then there's going to be a retainer nut down inside, and then you'll slide this piston out the back into your barrel, which again, in my opinion, didn't make any sense at all, but it was the best I had. So I went with it. So anyway, I went ahead and took it to my buddy's house, just because I was like, you know what, if those bolts on the yoke do have to come apart, he's got the tools, the impact, all that sort of stuff. But I stopped by, when I picked up my seals at Link Belt, I got an exploded diagram from them, and it showed the same thing. It showed that piston should just pull right out. But asking the guys in the parts department there, they said, no, yeah, it's got to go out the other end. You're going to have to take your yoke off. They were sure of it. I mean, the guys that worked at the Link Belt dealership. Now, I mean, whatever. Maybe, clearly they didn't know. Long story short, it does just pull out. So we set this thing up out of the truck on the ground using the crane on his truck, and then we hooked a strap right here around this brace. Maybe some better light. We hooked a strap right in here behind this brace for the grease zert, and went to pick it up with the crane, and this piston just popped right out. And as soon as it did, all three of your seals are right in there, your primary, your backup, and then this is your wiper seal. They're all right there where you can see them, right? Get to them easy. So pulled the old three out, put the new three in, pulled out some grease by hand just so we had space, and then shoved the piston back in, and we're done. This bolt, I asked him at the Link Belt dealer, what's that bolt for? Oh, I don't know. I said, well, looking at your diagram here, it doesn't look like it's for anything. I said, there's nothing on the exploded diagram that shows what that bolt does. Oh yeah, but it's important. It does something. It holds that piston in somehow. I said, man, it doesn't look like it to me. I can't see any reason why that bolt even exists. No, we're sure of it. You got to take it out for something. Well, we figured it out. When this bolt is in and it's upright, it lines up perfectly with that eye that's right here in the yoke. Here, let me zoom in closer. This eye. Now you tell me, why does this eye exist in the yoke? We line it up with that bolt, threads that are in that bolt. You thread a lifting eye into there, and you stick a lifting eye in here with a nut on the back side, and then you can pick this thing up balanced and secure when you put the machine together. So when you think about it like that, it makes perfect sense. The only reason that bolt exists is to keep the threads in that piston clean, because otherwise this thing is subject to dirt, clay, and pack, and everything else. You take that bolt out, it's just a tapped thread hole with nothing in it. It doesn't pump through with grease. There's nothing there. It's just a tapped hole. So they stick that bolt in there just to keep the threads clean. So if you ever do have to take this thing out, you can take that bolt out, thread in your lifting eye, and you're good to go. So anyway, deviate a little bit from the point, but I definitely wanted to share this with you guys, because even the mechanic, when we unloaded this thing, he goes, no man, he goes, that yoke's got to come apart. He said, every one I've ever done before, that yoke has to come apart and that barrel comes out. And so this was the first he'd ever done. He said, man, that is just the weirdest thing. I've never seen one like that before. So for any of you out there that are watching my videos that have a Link Belt and thinking about how this comes apart, now you know. I don't know how they do it on the newer Link Belt machines. Maybe it's the same, maybe it's not. But anyway, on this old 3400, and I imagine, I think there was a 2800 series as well, they should be just like this as far as I know. I don't know on anything else, but my understanding of the 2800 is just that it's a smaller version of the 34. So now you know. Hope this helps somebody, and we're going to get this slapped in the machine tomorrow, hopefully. I say we're, but it's just going to be me, so it'll be fun.